Hi everyone, my name is Martina. I studied in Japan for 1 semester and I've been there for 5 times, so I want to share my knowledge with you so you have a perfect Japan trip. And today I am doing another video which is about what area in Tokyo do I think is the best for anime shopping. If you are looking for figures, plushies, manga, whatever, I'm gonna compare Akihabara, Ikebukuro and Nakano Broadway to each other, and in the end I will share my absolute favorite with you, which may not be one of those places. I also did a Akihabara guide on this channel already, so I'm gonna link it here. If you want, feel free to watch it. I show you my favorite spots in Akihabara. What I want to say before I begin, first of all, I usually have like my plushies in the background. We have a water damage, so you don't see them. I wish I could show them to you because I bought most of them in Japan and most of my figures in Japan, just so you know that I have some like experience with buying stuff. And I also want to say this is my personal opinion. Of course, you're very free to have your own favorite spot or share it with me in the comments. Of course, also if you disagree, please feel free to share it with me in the comments. And also please consider to subscribe, to like, to comment. I always appreciate it so much. So yeah, I would really love that. Let's start with our first one, which is Akihabara, which is pretty okay-ish to reach from Tokyo. It's not like kind of hidden or anything. It's also like the most famous one, I would say. If you ask people, they will always say Akihabara is the best place for anime shopping. But recently I heard a lot of like opinions where people don't recommend Akihabara and they say that they don't really find anything, it's overpriced, it's too touristy and everything, which of course, like, Akihabara is so full, especially if you go there on a weekend. Try to avoid that. Try to pick a day where you can go maybe like in the morning, but not too early. All of the stores open around 10 or 11. I mean, that's a general thing in Japan, right? But we wanted to go to Akihabara for early shopping and everything was closed, so don't do this mistake. Grab some breakfast, wake up, don't be in a rush, and then just go to Akihabara around 10 and do your shopping. But in general, I would say I really like Akihabara. Of course, you have to know some special spots. You like, for example, I would never recommend you to just go into a store and buy something without comparing first. I would always recommend do your first like run where you go into all of the stores that you want to see and then compare the prices, because there are so many differences. Like, there are stores where you can get like some figures for 1,000 yen and then you go to a different one and you pay 3,000. So I always recommend do one run where you just look and then do a second run where you buy stuff, because there are so many stores, there are so many price differences. I would also recommend you in Akihabara go to secondhand stores like Lashimbang. They have a lot of secondhand things. They have a lot of like stuff that you don't see in other stores. And another store that I really love is Ami Ami. They have the best stuff, in my opinion. They also have a new building now. Like, they used to be kind of like in a smaller building, but now they have like a, I think, 6 or 7 story floor building that I love. Like, it's always my first place where I go to when I'm in Japan and in Akihabara. I also like the Radio Kaikan building, which is like this huge building that you can see. There you find, for example, the Riemann figures are very cheap on, I think, the 3rd floor. I posted it in my Akihabara video, so check it out. I would say in general, for me, Akihabara is still my favorite place, and you're gonna notice why when I compare it to the other 2 spots. But in general, it's just, you can find everything, even from like lesser known anime. But you have to have patience, and it also makes sense to go to Akihabara on your first week and then maybe in your last week, because they get new stuff. So it could happen that when you go there the first time, you don't find really any bargains or anything that you like. But then if you go back again in 2 weeks, it might be that you find something. But in general, I feel like, yes, it is touristy. Yes, it is very crowded. But if you look in the right stores, again, I recommend you to watch my video and look in like lesser known stores, or that are like more in the side alleys of Akihabara and not like on the main road. You can find a lot of stores that have good prices, that have anime that you don't see in other spots. The variety and the amount of stuff that you can get there, it doesn't compare to the other two spots. You just need to put some time in looking for stuff, comparing stuff. Akihabara is still my favorite. I still love it. I have been there in 2018, 2019, and then also this year, last year, the year before, and it never managed to disappoint me, even though last year I thought it would disappoint me, but in the end I still found stuff. When you're a collector, at one point you're just oversaturated, you know? Like you bought the things that you wanted and then you just look for some figures that you still want to collect. And maybe, of course, like the first hype about figure collecting might be gone, you know what I mean? And then you just wait for some releases that you really like. So I think if you go there as a first timer, it will still impress you. And even if I go there the next time, I will still go there and look for figures and not go to the other two places. Then the next spot is Ikebukuro. I always hear Ikebukuro is for the girls. I have to say I've been there quite a few times, but I never really focused on anime shopping except for Sunshine City. I love Sunshine City. It's one of those spots if you just have a few days in Tokyo and you want to, I don't know, get a glimpse of all of the stores or buy stuff for your family and friends. Sunshine City is perfect because they have so many anime stores. They have a Pokemon Center, they have the One Piece stores. I'm sorry, I'm not a big One Piece fan, so I don't know the name of it. And they have a Kiddie Land. They have the little Pokemon Sweets cafe there. Like, it's perfect for presents and also like theme cafes and stuff like that. It's a really nice area. But I never really did big anime shopping there. That was until this year because I went to Ikebukuro again for this video and I wanted to see if it's worth it. And I have to say, personally for me, Ikebukuro would not be my favorite spot for anime shopping. They have Ami as well, and I like their Ami store, so I think at least for that I would go there again because they had a lot of like Genshin stuff, which I really loved, and I got a really cute plushie from there for a very good price, so that made it worth it. But in general, when I watch anime, at this point I have a very basic anime taste, but I don't watch a lot of like sports anime or idols or, you know, like those things where you just simp for any kind of guy, which is totally fine. I don't watch those kind of sports and idol animes. I feel like if you like that and if you're into that, Ikebukuro could be perfect for you because they had so many stores where you could just like buy buttons for your Ita bag or like merch for your Ita bags with your favorite character from any kind of idol group or, I don't know, sports anime and stuff like that. For that, it was really perfect. Or getting like dojinshi, I hope I pronounced it right. It's also very perfect. It is for the girls who love idols, and I think if you like that, you're gonna love Ikebukuro. It's gonna be your favorite spot. And then again, you also have the Pokemon Center and everything, cool cafes, cool food spots. So yeah, if you're into that, please check out Ikebukuro. As I said, unfortunately, it's not a place that I would do my anime shopping, but I get the appeal. I get it, why people go there. Also, my friend told me that she found Digimon stuff there, but when I went there, I couldn't find anything. So if anyone knows if it's still a thing, if they still have a store that also has like older animes that, you know, played in the 90s, please let me know because I'm pretty sure I will go to Japan like in the next few years. I will go there again. Please mention it in the comments if you know which store she meant because she was not able to find it again. The like secret spot I see a lot on TikTok is Nakano Broadway. And I hope you're not gonna hate me for that. I'm not the biggest fan of Nakano Broadway. I have to say, okay, I had like two things that I found there that I was looking for in other places and that I got for a really good price. Also, Nakano Broadway is also like a place that is been used in JRPGs, so it is cool to go there and experience it. For me, every time I go there, because it's like a little bit older, I feel like it needs a renovation. It's very kind of nostalgic, but for me it gives me a very weird feeling. I don't know if anyone can relate what I mean, but every time I go into Nakano Broadway, I don't feel good there. It's kind of creepy, I don't know, aspect, but more about how it is for anime shopping. And I have to say, a good thing about Nakano Broadway is that you can find some really good bargains, especially at Mandrake. They have some, like, you can be very lucky and find secondhand stuff that you didn't find in Akihabara. It's, as you can see, it's very luck based, right? Like, you can have a really good week and go to Nakano and find a lot of stuff, and you can have a really good week and go to Akihabara and find really good stuff. It's very, very luck based, but in general, yes, you can find stuff at Nakano Broadway as well, but I feel like they focus more on more like niche kind of stores. Like, you can find dolls there, you can find very like 80s stuff, but 80s stuff that I'm not into, or 90s stuff. Like, they don't have those series that I really like. For example, I really like all of the old Magical Girl shows, Pokemon. I love all of the 90s animes that used to be popular, and like Digimon, for example. And I felt like they don't have that much of it. They had a science fiction collection stuff. They had a comic store. I honestly have to say it's just not my favorite place. It's also like Ikebukuro and Akihabara are places that are kind of central, more central in Japan, and I feel like you would like to go there anyway. Like when you visit Tokyo, you go to these places anyway. I feel like Nakano Broadway is a little bit in an area where you don't really go when it's your first time. Also me, I didn't go there my first time. I went there on my second time. If you're under a time pressure, just skip it. Honestly, I feel like you can find a lot of great stuff in Akihabara as well. If you have very niche anime or hobby, I think Nakano Broadway will be perfect for you. But if you're just fine with like popular anime like One Piece, Bleach, Frieren, something like that, you're gonna be totally fine in Akihabara and you don't really have to go Nakano Broadway. Again, this is my personal opinion. If you don't agree with it, I would love to hear your comments. This is my overview over those kind of stores and my opinion on them. And again, I would honestly recommend you to go to Akihabara. It's just very central, a lot of choices, and you can find a lot of cool stuff in the secondhand stores. And now, hear me out. This is my special advice. I feel like it's not that special and not that secret anymore, but the best place for me personally, again, it's very luck-based, find anime stuff, is book offs or lashing bang stores all over Japan. But book off is, I love book off. I'm such a book off girly. So basically, Book Off is a second-hand brand, and they don't only sell anime stuff, they also sell, like, as the name says, books, but sometimes there are also like stores that sell clothing or accessories or basically everything second-hand. You can check out Book Off. It's just like some stores, especially the one in Shinjuku, in Narita, I found a really good Book Off. There's a Book Off like almost everywhere. I think Yokohama also has a really good Book Off. Just look on Google for Book Off stores and then look in the reviews if they have a lot of like anime stuff. Usually they have a lot of pictures. It's just amazing because you can find so many things that you can't find anywhere else. Usually it's also cheaper. Those kind of figures that you can find in Akihabara for 3,000 yen, you can sometimes find at Book Off for 1,000. And it's just like very basic stuff from popular anime like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto. Those you can find them super cheap at Book Off. No need to buy them in Akihabara. For those like basic figures, it's very, very good to just go to Book Off. Or for keychains, Book Off is perfect. For, as I said, lottery stuff, Pokemon cards, they also sell Pokemon cards. It's just, honestly, it's heaven. It's heaven for collectors. And I'm someone who doesn't like thrift shopping, but for anime figure shopping, I'm just into it. And plushies, they also sell plushies. So yeah, go to Book Off, go to Akihabara. If you're more into niche stuff, I would also say check out Ikebukuro, check out Nakano Broadway, because they're still worth it. If you have the time, feel free to go there. But in general, if you're under a time pressure, just go to Akihabara or to a Book Off. Like, they're all over Japan, so I'm pretty sure you're not gonna miss them. Yeah, that's in general my advice that I have for you. I hope that it will make anime shopping easier for you. Please hear your thoughts in the comments. I hope that you enjoyed this video and see you next time. Bye bye everyone.